Welcome to Wednesday, the first day of July. Well, June was quite the month, a month of extremes, lots of ups and downs. We had June as one of the windier Junes we've had in a while. We had 3 or 4 episodes of snow in the month of June in the region. We had some hot days. We had unseasonably cold days. It really acted more like May at times than June. But now we're over the hump. We're into July, and that means some very quiet weather coming. Temperatures are going to be rebounding through the weekend. Temperatures today a little below average in many areas, but starting to warm up. The trough that was overhead begins to leave the region. We will see some typical late-day thunderstorm activity this weekend that we'll need to plan for if you're planning outdoor activities this weekend. East of the divide mainly, there's going to be enough moisture for late-day thunderstorms, but it's going to be warm. We're going to have a lot of sun. It's going to be what I would call just a really typical 4th of July weekend weather-wise. We'll update you on the monsoon, give you a little more detail about that North American monsoon and when it's going to get going finally. First of all, here we are with today's upper level pattern. That trough is so impressive, so strong for this time of year. The ridge up in the Gulf of Alaska causing that trough to build into the west. We have another trough here along the east coast. This is going to gradually lift and weaken a little bit. And what that will do is allow more in the way of warmth to surge up from the south and west as the low retreats into south central areas of Canada. Now this happens slowly here over the next 2 or 3 days. By the weekend, that trough continues to migrate more to the north. Jet stream lifts to the north. And what this means is high pressure begins to rebuild over the southwestern United States and the southern plains. And that clockwise flow pumps up that warm desert air. And this is a real typical upper level pattern heading into July. That jet stream is finally showing signs of retreating. Every time we thought we would see it retreat, it comes back south again. But I think as we go into the next few days, next week and beyond, we're going to see a more typical pattern set up. Now, these are the precipitation chances through Sunday afternoon. Look at the divide. The Continental Divide and areas east of the divide is really where the action's going to be. There is going to be enough moisture east of the mountains and in the mountains of the divide to bring us late day showers and thunderstorms. Most of these come Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. West of the divide, enough moisture for isolated thunderstorms, but you really don't want to see this because these are the types of thunderstorms that are fire starters. You get very little rain from them, but you do get lightning and wind. So that's something we'll have to be very watchful for over the 4th of July weekend, especially west of the divide out here where it's so dry. But if you're planning outdoor activities for the 4th of July weekend, if you're east of the divide, you're going to see some late day showers and thunderstorms. By Saturday and Sunday and beyond, this is the long range forecast that takes us 10 days out. This takes us all the way to next Saturday, and you can see the high, the pressure ridge, the jet stream is well up north now along the border where it should be. And we're going to see that summertime heat build across the nation's midsection. This is what makes the corn grow. You get the heat, you get the humidity into the nation's midsection. The southwest wind flow aloft starts to bring subtropical moisture in. You get thunderstorms that develop in this area here. This is just a very typical early July pattern. Now, I want to show you how things will transpire with the precipitation and the moisture. This is the cumulative moisture for 10 days through next Saturday. And you can see the thunderstorm activity is really going to be focused here. This area here is going to have an active pattern. Looks like good chances of showers and thunderstorms with moisture east of the divide. We start to see a little bit of moisture here. But I want to show you what happens after 10 days, especially in the western slope of Colorado in this area here. Because the monsoon, although late starting, does show signs it's going to want to kick into gear. I want to show you how this evolves. What we're showing you here is a map of what's called the precipitable water. Basically, if water is available to produce rain, turn that water vapor that's in the air, be able to turn it to clouds, turn it to rain. Wherever you see brown, these are precipitable water levels that are below average. Now this is for today, so you can see we're not looking at much moisture available for thunderstorm activity today. By Saturday though, notice we have white, which is average, and then green showing up in these patches. So we start to see more water available for late day shower and thunderstorm activity this weekend here, as opposed to the very dry air we have now. Going out further, 10 days from now, Notice we have a replacement of desert air come back on in. So we're likely going to go into the middle to the end of next week with another dry period. Look at the red here. This is really dry air. So the western side of the divide, the Four Corners region, this area right here is going to struggle with getting any really good rain chances for the next 10 days other than a few spotty showers and thunderstorms. But if we were to look 15 days out, 2 weeks from now, this is textbook. We see better moisture coming up out of Old Mexico and Central America, and you get this ring. This ring actually goes around and curves into the Midwest and Corn Belt like this. So that's when Arizona, western slope of Colorado, parts of western and central Wyoming that need the rain, this is when it's likely going to kick in the gear. Right around the middle of July is when the monsoon finally shows signs of growing and expanding. As long as we stop these Pacific cold fronts to take out the top of this moisture flow and suppress it to the south, the second half of July will bring better rain chances. The trick is getting through the next 2 weeks, especially west of the divide, without any big fires starting or any really big problems before we can get that better moisture to come on in. This is what the 15-day outlook looks like for rain. The 5 days from Friday the 12th through Friday the 17th, this is what is developing during that time frame. And you can see that 5-day period right before the 5 days preceding the 17th of July is when the rain really comes back into the western slope of Colorado, into Utah, Arizona, New Mexico, even back into Nevada. Thanks for watching and listening to the Day Weather Podcast. Talk to you tomorrow.